I am of the mind that so the 90s country was the soundtrack of my youth.
Right.
Okay. It's my favorite era. I listen to it every day, on and on. What do you believe the impact of that era was on the format overall in its history?
Well, I believe is the question what the impact was or why?
Oh, I will take both.
Okay.
Those are
Well,
two very dynamic questions.
yeah. So the what the impact was, what was this? It was a wave. I always say it was a wave, and there's Garth Brooks and Shania, really kind of what I would say is they started that wave, and then the rest of us were able just to jump on, man, and make that wave bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was so cool of a time for us because I mean, country music was always kind of like the stepchild of the genres. And then all of a sudden, the 90's, we're the number one music form in the world.
Yeah.
And and we're all selling out arenas, and and it was just it just felt like a huge wave that picked everybody up, and just we went, and we all went together. Everybody was affected by it. We sold a lot of records. We we filled arenas. All of us did. um, but also what we did, and the reason that I can still do 100 cities a year to this day, other than last year, of course, is because of that wave and the impact that it had. And it brought so many people. uh, and now I'll get to the why I think that was there was diversity
Mm.
in that. But within that diversity, there was still this common core of there's these messages in the song that really resonated with this massive audience. So you have Sawyer Brown, the country rock guys. You've got Randy Travis, the traditional guy. You've got Alabama somewhere in between. You've got Garth Brooks, who is this, cowboy, uh, rock star. You've got Shania Twain, this beautiful, her and Mutt Lang were making this music, and they would do three different mixes. They'd do a country mix, a pop mix, and a European mix, and an Asian mix. And but if you look at exactly what it was these songs that resonated. And I just think that the 90's were really good economically for everyone. um and I think we celebrated that with our music. And I think that has lingered on. That, people say, hey, the 90's are hot. Well, the 90's haven't not stopped being hot for us. um but but I just think there was a lot of diversity, but there was the message in the music. um was I will say this: I never really worried too much about the production. If we had a great song, I mean, I always say this about a great song: anybody could sing it and anybody could produce it. A great song is a great song. And that's how, when I came to Nashville as a songwriter writing for Charlie Pride, we learned how to craft a song. That was, you had talent, but you also, it's just like if you can throw a 90 mile an hour fastball, you have to have a curveball and a changeup and a slider, you know, or otherwise you're just, you know, you're just a pitcher. So as a songwriter, we had to learn how to craft a great song. And sometimes I feel like productions overshadow, like, you know, and listen, I will never say anything about today's music or what, because I think there's a lot of good out there, but I still believe that the core of anything impactful musically is a great song, a great lyric.
I completely agree. And I was going to, you made my point for me when you said that, you know, a lot of you guys got on the wave and whatnot. And it was because of that wave. It goes back to the songs
Yeah,
because, Mark, there were a lot of people who rode that wave and they're not riding it now.
right.
The ones that had the great songs are still riding it.
Yeah.